Trupti ji. That's fine. So let's start. Welcome all educators, all viewers, and our esteemed panel of speakers on this seminar on health, diet, and balance. We titled it very thoughtfully, Mindful Teaching. The reason for putting it mindful teaching is that, most of the time for educators goes in teaching. So how to make it effective, keeping in mind health and other factors. So today we will dive into this topic, and we have gathered here with a commitment to explore this profound intersection between our well-being and our daily choices. So I'm deeply honored to introduce our esteemed speakers with us, each offering unique insight into this domain of human experience. So thank you for joining. I will introduce each of you now. Shilpa Mittal, she is award-winning nutritionist with 25 plus years of experience and tens of thousands of success stories. She helps people fall in love with food, be it for illness or just well-being. Trupti Valotia, she is certified diabetic educator, holistic health coach, and she is working in this field since 7 years. She is helping people with the root cause, conducting workshops on mind-body connection. And Shrikanji is having 10 plus years of experience in yoga facilitation. He conducts regular workshops for corporates, for social platforms and institutions. He is owner of Yoga Sanjeevani, co-founder of Yoga Sanjeevani and Aki Yoga, and his main interest lies in health wellness at various workshops, and he is contributing continuously to the society by his knowledge. So thank you so much for joining at this panel. And I will first start with Shilpa ji. Shilpa, to start this topic, how can mindful practices enhance our relationship with food and promote healthier eating habits? Let's start our day with eating habits. Over to you, Shilpa.
Thank you so much, Jen, for inviting, and it's a pleasure to speak on this topic, which is not usually taken up. So thank you so much. Now coming up to your question of mindfulness, I mean, how mindfulness can affect our relationship with food. I think our relationship with food, as we have been born and brought up, right from the time a mother starts weaning the child, the relationship starts developing there. I mean, if you see a mother feeding a small toddler, if the toddler doesn't eat, she feels guilty that my child has not eaten. So that's how we start associating our emotions with the food. Or a mother saying a child, okay, eat at least for my sake, eat one chapati. So there is how the build up of our emotional connect with food starts, and that's how, as a kid, we start associating food with, okay, if I eat, my mom will be happy, or so that is how we start associating food and emotions together, and this keeps on happening over the life. So talking about mindfulness, because we are conditioned since childhood in a kind of a setting, at least in our Indian culture. So it is very natural when you're not feeling very happy to reach out for something, some food which will give you that happiness, because that is how we have been. I mean, we have been born and brought up. So when talking about mindfulness, if a person comes out of this or develops mindfulness, which takes really a big time, one thing is the person will be able to differentiate between actual hunger and the emotional hunger. I mean, at least he or she will understand when the person is not in a good mood, or when he's angry or sad. Even if he has to eat, what should be eaten, if the person is in that mindfulness state, food choices will be made accordingly. somewhere it will also help in reducing food craving. So overall, the person will be in a balanced state of mind if the person is mindful, I mean, develops mindfulness over years with practice. So basically, when a person is in a state wherein the person is, say, emotionally connected to food and different phases of life, if ups and downs happen, they resort to maybe high sugary foods, which give them a kick and increases their blood sugar, and the brain feels happy for that particular moment. So if the person is in that mindfulness, at least this won't happen. Maybe the person may go out for a walk or talk to
Hmm.
someone, will divert himself or herself from food. So, I mean, mindfulness will help us develop healthy relationship with food, or at least the portion size. He or she may be aware of the portion size. Okay, I feel like eating a chocolate, but instead of eating the whole bar, I can derive satisfaction by eating maybe two pieces, but the way to eat it, maybe take 10-15 minutes just eating maybe that 5 or 10 rupees dairy milk per se. But
Right.
take time so that the brain gets the message that yes, everything is fine, you're feeling good. So
Hmm.
that's how mindfulness will help us develop a healthy relationship. I mean, not to take wrong foods as villain per se.
Hmm. Uh, Shilpa, you have just highlighted very important point, and I want to extend your point with Shrikanji. Shrikanji, extending her point, how do you think a healthier relationship with food can help with body image or self-esteem? It has something to do with spiritual connection also. I think you would be the right person to answer this question.
Topic on a very
Shrikanji.
interesting note. So
Yeah.
emotions play a very important role, right? And what we eat, yeah, what we eat or how we eat, I think that is what she has rightly pointed out. He, no, even if you feel craving for something, okay, take in small bites and take your time so that patience is there and you enjoy that. See, mind is like mindfulness, mind. So mind is always oscillating, right? We're trying to figure out something which we want. Mind wants happiness, actually. So where does yoga fit in? Yoga fits in about conditioning of the mind, right? Not so mind is about thoughts. Mind is about choices, right? So something about the mind is the intellect. So what is intellect? Intellect is the decision maker. Now, should I have this? Should I not have this? Okay. So what should I do? Right. So this, should I take, I consume the whole bar of chocolate or whether
Hmm.
I take all bites of it. So that is decided. One is the emotional part of it, and second is the mind part of it. So yoga helps to stabilize. Yoga helps to condition. Yoga helps to reduce the hankering. Uh, so there are many techniques are there. You have the pranayam, which is balancing. You have a little bit of quietening of the mind, which are practices are there. Like, take for example the simple example of the mind is very agitated, or we are in a state of flux. What we should do is just quieten the mind, and the nature's way of quietening the mind is the Brahmari pranayam. Okay. So what we do in Brahmari pranayam is like we take a deep breath and you do a humming sound. Mm.
Hmm.
So the humming sound is connecting with the head region, and this will quieten the mind. I think this are very simple tips, but very important tips also.
Hmm.
The Brahmari pranayam is known to reduce blood pressure, is known to reduce hypertension. It is um, there are studies which show that it reduces stress. Right? That is how it is there. So that is the connection.
Mm. This was very important because, I think many times when educators are busy in their life and they forget to think about themselves, they're too concerned about probably students, and they forget to, see that how on daily basis they can take care of themselves. Trupti, just extending this, when educators are thinking about students and forgetting about taking care of themselves, somewhere I see that it impacts their self-esteem if it is not a healthy lifestyle for them. And can you throw some light on this topic?
Sure. So thank you very much. I would say that when we talk about mindfulness is being present and being aware. So for teachers, I would say, like if we talk about mindfulness, then when you are with kids, your 100% mind is present. Like if you are in a class or maybe you are in the school, then you'll be able to hear the chalk noise also. Maybe you are able to hear the noise, what children are talking inside, what they are discussing inside, or maybe what you are teaching. See, when you are being present, your attention will be towards their behavior, attention would be towards what they communicate you, and you will not involved in any other multitasking activity or a thought, and you will be present there. Once you are present, you will be very assertive to answer and give that attention to them. So I feel being present is somewhere your focus is what exactly you are communicating, what's your thoughts, what's your feeling, what are your emotion, and how you are communicating to the person in front of you will make lot of sense, because that all comes from the compassion and a love. It's not like the person in front of you will be immediately able to connect you with your word, with your love, and how you want to empower that person. So I would say that for teacher, it plays a miraculous role, that the kind of connect a child feel when he or she is in front of teacher, and they'll immediately the shift will come, like they'll be aware, oh, my teacher is saying, or my teacher is telling me to change this particular thing or give me some suggestion. Their attention also to the teacher will be 100%. This is what holistically I would exactly suggest.
That's a very good point. How do we be mindful about everything when you are in the classroom? Shilpa, coming back to diet, what kind of mindfulness practices can contribute to more complete approach to health and wellness?
Okay, so when we talk about mindful practices, one is nowadays people are not eating mindfully, in the sense either they have either they are watching something maybe on the TV or either on the phone or iPad, be it parents, be it teachers, be it even kids. So they are not aware of what they are eating, neither they are savoring the flavors of the food, neither the texture. So when they walk into my clinic and I ask them what you have eaten even the previous meal, or even the previous day, it is very difficult for them to remember. So I think the first and the foremost is to eat with full awareness, at least without distractions. How it was previously, all the family members eating together. Maybe they are talking to each other, but still focusing on food, discussing maybe how good the food is, appreciating it. So you immediately have that energy shift, and it is all about positivity, because when you're actually involved in watching some series or something, again those kind of maybe some emotional scenes or whatever is happening is going to affect your digestion. One is So being mindful, being in present without any distraction. The other I would say is, when a person is in that state, the person will not overeat. That is important about the portion control, and that will also happen about balancing their meals. So there has to be good fats, good proteins, and good amount of fiber in the diet. Otherwise, it is very easy for a person to binge eat or overeat. So yes, mindfulness comes on, being aware and being in the moment, whatever you are doing.
Just coming back to eating, as you mentioned, will you be able to suggest few breakfast tips that they can have? I think breakfast is the most important part of the day, as everyone says. So if you can give us some tips, where we don't have to think much and we can just start our day, which is a complete balanced food.
Yes, so that's a very good question, because when educators come to me, for them also it is there too much of mental work, setting up the home and then going to the school. So yes, for breakfast, quick options could be maybe a glass of milkshake, whatever seasonal fruit, banana is available throughout the year. So even a glass of banana milkshake with few dry fruits is a good this thing to fill up your stomach, and that's quite cooked. Even a normal say poha, upma, they are all good, but only thing is they are all rich in carbohydrates. So when you pair it up well, so maybe you can have a glass of milk with it, or maybe a bowl of curd, or you can add lots of peas to it, because again, peas will give you protein. So not just adding maybe onion, tomatoes to your you can add that, but along with that, try and add more of seasonal vegetables too. So you are having cereal, you're having proteins, and you're having some fiber in it. Again, parathas are a good option. Maybe if the educators do not have time, they can knead the dough the previous night and even make a stuffing. And stuffing could be very simple, as good as maybe some kind of chana flour, which is always available at home, and maybe some green leafy vegetables, which could be chopped, mixed with chana flour, could be stuffed in the paratha and can be rolled out. So paratha, that becomes a wholesome paratha. Maybe with a bowl of curd again is good. So even simple dosa with sambar is also good, because that also becomes a complete protein. Again, coming to various kind of pancakes or chilas, if you have various kind of atas, you can pre-mix and keep, and you just have to then mix water and make a dosa out of it. So simple combinations to remember would be one millet or cereal. So say if we take jawar flour, the easiest to mix with a protein atta is chana flour, or if you're used to eating sattu, especially in summer, is good. It's cooling, easy to digest, and you add some vegetables to it, and that's it. With water, make a consistency of a dosa batter, and you can easily pour out good kind of uttapas. So you can pre-mix various things, maybe rajgira atta, you can combine it with jawar, with little oats, with besan. So this kind of premixes in small boxes, you can keep it and you can keep varying it. So that will be very quick.
This was quite useful. I hope we all can practice this and make our day start with a healthy note. Shrikantji, share some tips that educators can use on day-to-day basis for health mindfulness.
I think I will recommend, or I share example. So the first thing that you must do, or is that have a little, say 300 to 500 milliliters of lukewarm water first thing in the morning. Okay. So what happens is that will clean up your system, and then it will become, and after that you can have brush and all those things. You can go through your daily routine. That is what. So the first thing in the morning is cleansing. So the first part is take a little lukewarm water, and there's no need to add lemon or honey or all those things to it in the first place. So that is the one thing. Right? After that, you have done, so you can have your tea, coffee, or whatever it is. Yeah. Instead of that, I would, what I do is, especially for the educators, because they have to work, they have to speak a lot. So I use this is the turmeric. इसको कच्ची हल्दी बोलते हैं हम. So that is available. It's like a ginger only. It looks like ginger, but it will be orange or yellowish in color. So grate that ginger, I mean that haldi, and allow it to boil properly. So what will happen is, ginger, haldi is a good antibiotic. Haldi is a good, it is good for the throat also. So what will happen is, and do a little bit of, you can take a half a cup of it and do 4-5 times gargling of with that. So you boil that and allow that liquid, or allow that thing to come to normal in the sense lukewarm temperature, which your throat can bear, and do a little bit of gargling with that. So what happens is, your throat will get the benefit, and it will keep your throat healthy for the rest of the day. So I think these two things you can do. And there are other things also, but I think it's better to start with something, and otherwise take 10 things and you start.
Yes,
yeah.
Starting. This is a great starting, and even if we can practice every day these things, it will surely impact our day-to-day life. Trupti, would you share some tips that we can practice for incorporating mindfulness in our daily routines for overall well-being? Some tips from you?
Sure. If holistically you will ask me, then I would say starting your day with a gratitude. Writing a gratitude, maybe a 1 sentence or a 2 sentence or a 3 sentence, will make lot of sense, because we all are in hurry. We all are in busy daily life, and we rush to kitchen to prepare for the day and just leave the home and rush to our education center or a school or wherever we are teaching. So I would say that, like, whenever you wake up after your daily routine, and just make a habit, when maybe a teacher start preparing her purse or maybe the bag for the day, packing a tiffin, or maybe carrying a diary, or carrying a pen, or maybe the essential for the teaching material, just start a day with a small writing note that thank you for the beautiful day, or maybe the thank you, this student I could see the improvement, or maybe something I could do best in my teaching technique or a skill, or I'm grateful for the organization I'm working. Immediately that gratitude practice will shift a person from the struggle to the peace. And that is where the whole balance, harmonized, come in the picture. Is harmonizing your thoughts, your words, your feeling, and your emotion.
So, a lot of people, sorry to interrupt, but a lot of people talk about gratitude. How does it actually impact our mind and body? What is the connection that helps us improving ourselves using gratitude? Any of you can also share your thoughts, because this is often talked, but for a logical mind, if the reason is explained, it makes more sense. So probably all of you can share some thoughts on that. We'll start with Trupti.
Sure. So then I would say that we all have a like the way, an approach where what we do is like, I am doing, I have done this, I have completed this. So when you come, gratitude is just surrendering yourself to the super divine power. And when you surrender, or when you say that I am grateful to have this, your feeling immediately shift to the surrendering and ready to receive more. So that's basically Your mind, how it will, because once you are surrendering, when you are grateful, the sign immediately given to the mind that I am in a thankful feeling. That particular brain hormone will immediately charge you with a happiness. And that hormone will start, complete body will start and ready to receive, and you immediately feel that change in your body, that I'm so thankful, that feeling itself give you the more power and energy to work more mindfully, more gracefully, and ready to start with a more power of divine. Thank you.
Shilpa, we talk about hormones. I think you can really guide us how food, along with mindfulness, can help in proper hormone balance in our body. Role of food in
Okay.
our hormones.
Yes. So again, a very good question, especially when, because a lot of hormonal changes do happen during puberty, and at times educators are also going through hormonal changes, maybe if they are during in their menopausal state. So handling kids who are in puberty and they are also themselves going through menopausal state. So when we connect the mindfulness, hormones, and the food, yes, there is a very strong interconnection. What I have seen in my practice, and yes, discussing with Trupti ji most of the times. Uh, so even if a person, or let me say a lady, because this generally happens most of the time with the educator who's too stressed. So I have a teacher who's teaching 9th and 10th standard, and she usually comes during the start of the year and now when the exams are there, because there is so much of stress built up that it definitely affects, either there is too much of pain in her leg, some or the other things keep on troubling her. uh, what I see is, as we spoke earlier about eating foods when you are stressed. Uh, of course, when you eat wrong foods, the hormones fluctuate accordingly. But here again, as Trupti ji spoke about gratitude, and if we are in that mindful state and we do not go in the cycle of feeling guilty, so it happens with each one of us, maybe during the PMS state, or when you're really not good and you crave for a certain food. It could be a salty, spicy, or a sweet food, and you eat it. But then if you keep on getting into that guilt, why have I eaten? I have ruined everything, and so on and so forth. That food is definitely going to affect you, and you are going to, I mean, it is definitely going to affect your mind, your body accordingly. But if you have accepted it, you listen to your body, and that's how you've given in, and that's okay, and left it there and there, and you are back on your journey. I have seen those people not even putting on weight and just moving ahead. So I think yes, your thoughts definitely have a big role to play, because they transmit a message to the hormones. That's what I feel.
Hmm.
So yes, a big role.
Big role. Thank you, Shilpa. That was very insightful. Shrikantji, two questions to you. How gratitude and hormones both can be balanced using yoga and health techniques that you can suggest us, and its role as well. Big
Right.
question, but I think
So,
this is important.
good, good. Right. So we'll do the see, one is uh, the topic, and the second is the practice. Mantra and tantra. What is the tantra of doing it? So very nicely, both Trupti and Shilpa ji has put those things together. So gratitude, say, okay. So the best part of one practice that we can follow, is just observing the morning sunrise, and you see the difference. You see the riot of the colors that every 2, 3, 5 minutes the whole thing changes. So just observe the sunlight, just see the sky around.
in
the morning, and you see that how nature is, working in in a harmony.
Sorry to
And
interrupt you, but I think in city life, not everybody has a privilege of
no,
observing sunrise. So some tip, if they
okay,
cannot see
okay,
sunrise, what else can they do?
right. So sunrise, if you can't see sunrise, okay, you can sit in the balcony or on the
Mhm.
terrace, or some you go out on the street, or a few steps, and you soak yourself in that vitamin D at least for 10 minutes.
Hmm.
Mhm. That will give you that thing. I have found a lot of people when we do our yoga class or other things also. बोला सर बहुत stiffness है body में, शरीर में, ऐसा है वैसा है. I tell them, see, all this AC and all this, home 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK, the
Hmm.
is only that much, 700 square feet, 1000 square feet, 1500 square feet, and open, and you see the square feet and see the nature's energy, and that is phenomenal, right? Good. So
Lovely.
that's how this is the gratitude of nature is, giver.
Hmm.
Gratitude is giving, and we just receive it. We yeah, be prepared to receive the gratitude of nature. Be prepared to receive the energy of nature. Be prepared to see the larger energy. See, individual and the system, external system, they are not very different from each other. Only the scale is different. So the only thing is, if we can get into harmony, if we can get into the connect with nature, our energy, our shift is bound to happen.
Hmm. It also, I mean, I take it this way that it is also observing nature. We become more conscious, how grateful nature has been to us, and somewhere it also starts with gratitude. Um, One more question to you, Srikanji. Can yoga help in balancing hormones?
Yes.
Some
Yoga,
ideas that you can
yes.
share on this.
Yes. No, yoga definitely helps in balancing the hormones. And I will give you a small tip. See, the hormonal glands starts from the hypothalamus. Just below that is the pituitary gland. So the point for pituitary gland
Mm-hmm.
is the center of the thumb. So normally times we see that, okay, I am taking this jnana mudra, or in this posture I am doing meditation, or I am doing this thing. So what is happening is actually that point is being pressed.
Mm.
So if we do this, if we are able, there are other tools also available, but if you don't have a tool, then at least you can press this point in the middle of the thumb. You can press this point for about 10 seconds and release. Press and release. Press and release. So your pituitary gland is getting that activation. The second important point for is the thyroid point. So especially women, they have, I mean, even men now, I've seen a lot of cases where they have got these thyroid problems. This thyroid is with the metabolism of the body, about the weight, about the heartbeats, everything. More or less, many systems are impacted by this. So what we can do is, you have a pen, pencil, right? The edge which is not sharp, you can press this point. See, On the thumb, you have a partition, or you have a line here. So this is the head region. The upper part is the head region, and the lower part is the throat region. So if you can press this point for about 10 seconds, the thyroid activation will happen. Press this point for about 10 seconds. You can press it for 3, 4, 5 seconds, and do it repeated 2, 3 times. So what happens is this connects with the thyroid here, that place. And thyroid, I mean, we have seen, I have come across n number of cases where they are having these issues, and this small practice has reduced their dose of medicine, and it is, they are feeling better. The weight has come down. Yeah? People have reduced weight because of this small practice. So pituitary and thyroid, these two glands, hormonal gland. There are other points also, but I think these 2 points.
Two points are good to start with. Yes. You
Good
just
to start.
mentioned, yes, you just mentioned about weight management. It helps
Yes.
with weight management. Let's explore this topic with all of you. We'll start with Shilpa. Being a dietitian, I think it's a great to start with you. How can teachers make sure that they are able to manage their weight? Because mindful eating is normally not practiced, and it has an impact on body weight as well. So some thoughts that you can share on this.
Okay, so educators, what I have noticed in my practices, they keep really long gaps between their meals. So they may or may not have breakfast. Otherwise, so at times it is very difficult for them to eat it in school, because either they are getting the break or they are not getting the break, because they have to rush from one class to another class, be it a nursery teacher to even a teacher teaching higher standards. Or if they are eating, that's again, as you rightly mentioned, there is no mindfulness which is practiced. And the other thing is, if they are not eating, they'll have just cups and cups of tea or coffee, which is going to suppress their appetite. And then, sorry, once they are back home, dinner is, because if a person is just eating maybe 2 meals or 3 meals a day, it is but obvious, if there is long gaps, the person may tend to overeat the next meal, and that's what happens in dinner. So at times the educators come and complain, I'm not eating so much, and I keep standing and walking in the class. So I'm very happy with the activity. In fact, they are overstressed because they hardly get to sit. They are either walking and teaching, or at least they are standing. So the expenditure of calorie, even if due to exertion, that's still there. I would not advise them to walk. But only thing is, what I want them to understand is, they are not fueling their body with the right thing and at the right time. And once a person overeats, be it any meal of the day, your body is only going to utilize certain set of calories, because God has not designed us to utilize, maybe if you've overeaten a 500 calorie meal, say for example, your body is not designed to utilize all of those 500 calorie. It will only take up what is needed, maybe 200 or 300, and the rest will be stored as fat to be used up later. So that's what keeps on happening day in and out, and that's how losing weight becomes difficult. So my only advice is, if even if you find it difficult to eat it in the school, maybe a whole meal, you can break it down to mini snacks, which could be fruits, which could be dry fruits. You can carry a thick chas with you. Even now, since it's summer, so drinking water is important. Maybe a water with like a lime juice with little salt and sugar. But they need to understand that just not the caffeine intake, which is going to suppress the appetite. Maybe a handful of chana, So all these things are healthy and will keep on giving them some kind of nutrients and energy, keep them energized. In fact, they'll feel more active. So they need to fuel right if we are talking about weight loss. It is not skipping meals, but they need to eat right, a proper balanced meal.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. I think most of teachers would start their day with tea or coffee, and that becomes a regular phenomena throughout the day. So being mindful about eating something surely will help. Trupti, your thoughts on the same?
Sure. I would exactly add, see, I feel for a educator or a teacher, they have a very busy schedule, right? Like they leave maybe 7:30 in the morning and school till 4 o'clock, or maybe 11 to 6 o'clock. I would advise here, like being mindfulness or being aware is a small behavioral pattern change, and little planning can help them. Like if they can plan their meal plan and make a timetable for a 7 days or maybe a 10 days, when they go for a shopping, basically they'll be able to do some pre-preparation for the next day, and then they will be little relaxed in the morning, because what they will be carrying in the tiffin box, because the teachers, they always have a priority in their mind is their role, their teaching, preparing for the subject, or maybe checking the papers, or what is going to be in the next class. So that's their priority. And other than that priority, they have so many priorities at home: social priority, their own children, own husband, home, and many cooking responsibilities also. So small changes like making a meal plan for a 7 days or a 10 days, and you can plan maybe soaking of few nuts, or maybe the rajma or chole, what Shilpa has suggested. If she can soak the moog, so next day morning I can make moog and roti, or maybe a salad of rajma and nachni roti. So little planning, just mindfully with a timetable, can make their life really easy. And maybe that will add to nutrition also. But yes, the behavior and habit forming really takes some need your efforts and a time to set. But maybe on a weekends also they can plan. That would be great. For the next weekend, they will really enjoy, and with a less stress and enjoy joyfully, they'll be able to do their role, I feel.
Trupti, you mentioned a very good point. The planning that is generally missing would lead to many problems. So it becomes like a vicious circle. No planning and things doesn't go well. And when thing doesn't go well, you further are not in a mood to plan. So starting somewhere would be really helpful. I will you share, how can one start planning? Uh, I think you are I know you personally, and you are a great planner. I have seen your diary; it is so meticulously planned. Some thoughts that you can share with us. I'm sure it's going to be very useful to us.
Actually, you disconnected in between. So will you repeat?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So what I was saying, Tripti, I have been knowing you since quite some time, and you are absolutely amazing when it comes to planning. Your diary is updated, and I think most of the things that you have written down in diary has been working for you. So share with us how we can learn this technique from you.
Sure. So I have, thank you so much for remembering a very long back. So I'm just taking one page from my board, like my this workstation. See, this is a simple chart I have made. Sometimes we all do a multitasking activity. So this basically a board where I have planned. These are some of the activity that on which day I will work on the diabetes education, which day I'll work on a counseling things, which day I would work on a woman empowerment, or which day maybe I'll work on my community of senior citizen. So I've just made a bracket which really ready just to guide me on Wednesday. So Wednesday is my day for a senior citizen community. And other than my active role, what passive I can work for them for the upcoming week or upcoming month, I will make a note. So I would say just being aware initially. Once you need to start, then what I normally have a habit that I always keep accessible, and where I can see wherever I'm passing in the home, it is on my desk, it is open. So whenever I remember, I write it down. So that really helps me, because see, sometimes when we are very busy, we don't know what are the things inside. We have many things to do. But if it is not in the vision board or it is not on the priority, we tends to forget. So maintaining diary is about writing the key points, writing the area where I need to focus on. So maybe for the educator, yes, I am very much sure that in their life, they have their own priority. They have their daily routine, and they have a learning, maybe what they want to learn more to empower themselves, which skill is going to help them to earn better, or maybe to reach more people, and which skill will help them to give their best. That they can add in the chat will help them that कि ये साल में 2024 में मुझे डिजिटल मार्केटिंग लीन करनी है, या इंस्टा लर्न करना है, या मुझे जूम लर्न करना है. That will exactly add to their skill and help them to empower their role, basically, because they are creators. And what they are creating the best thing on the planet. I'm sure we are so blessed to have each one of them who really played a role in our life. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was insightful for sure. Now I have a question for all of you, going a little bit in your life, personal life. And the question is, what is one maybe small or big thing that you have changed in your lifestyle and that had surprisingly positive impact in your well-being? So I will start that with Srikanji. Something that you have done recently, could be small or big, and that has a surprisingly positive impact in your life.
Yeah, I think I added a few things to my daily routine, right? And that has really, I mean, yoga practice I was already doing for about 20 years. When I added the occupational part of it, right? Because acupressure is also our science or our technique, which is not known as acupressure, but known as Marma Yoga. So all these points, all these tools, all these aspects which are there, when I've added to my yoga practice, it has really changed. You say, it is like a double engine, right? So double engine works better than a single engine. So that has really changed. So you were asking the other two participants about, I mean, our host, our partners about the weight loss. I would suggest one technique for weight loss.
Yes.
For the education. Yeah. So this is an energy ball. Okay. And this part is the center of our palm. Is our stomach region. And okay, I do know that the fats are it can be in hands. I mean, the fat can accumulate in any part of the body, but there is something called central obesity in the middle portion of the body. Right? So what we do is we press these points. Okay? So it does two things. One is the stress will reduce, and these points will get activated. And we have been measuring this with the help of a smartwatch also. So in about 20 minutes of this practice, about 400 calories are getting consumed when this part. So we are taking more readings. I mean, this is a few set of people in our daily class they are doing, right? But some more people, when I've shared this with them, I said, "Oh, this is very interesting and this is very simple also." So I said, "Okay, so let's have about 50 to 75 or 100 readings, okay, in intervals of say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes." And it is good, if you can burn 200 calories, by doing a simple thing. Why not use the smart technology?
Yes, that's useful. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sure we all can use this easy thing. And, I think it's just about adding few things in our life. And that I'm realizing the importance of small changes that can have impact on our life. And this question now goes to Shilpa. What is one small change that you have recently made in your life? It could be anything, could be food related, lifestyle related, and that has surprisingly positive impact in your life.
So I'll share two things. One is about the food. Last year, I had taken this resolution that I will try one new vegetable. I used to suggest kids who used to come to me, and I also wanted to do the same. So leafy vegetables we only usually get as spinach or methi. I wanted to try new. I mean, even if I was prepared, even if there is resistance from the home, I will prepare it for myself and eat it. So this was during the rainy season. So around June, I started. And initially, yes, people were not very happy in the home. I am getting what all things. And I used to ask my maid, search from the net. And I started, and yes, that I mean, and I have not taken B supplement the last whole year because I wanted to check the uh, how is my gut responding, because I had attended a few sessions wherein it was said that B12 will be generated if you eat a variety of food. And just yesterday, my blood reports came, and my B12 is really very good. I'm so happy with it. And yes, by the time September, October, everybody started taking at least one spoon. And there are few leafy vegetables that, yes, apart from palak and methi, my kids are also liking it. So that
Yes.
is one thing which I'm
Mm.
very happy to make. And I'm very confident when I'm suggesting my clients also. And the other thing is, I've started doing segment intending. So that's giving me a lot of peace of mind. Just maybe just two lines about as and when I remember, especially days when it is very hectic. Segment intending has helped me manage my day well, and basically my state of mind has been very happy rather than juggling or feeling frustrated or having that negative thoughts.
Mm.
That's helped me a lot. So there's
I'm
two things.
sure a lot of people will not be knowing about segment. Will you please share
Intent.
what is it?
Okay, so that was a recent group where I joined, and somebody even explained that. So segment intending is nothing but how you want your, it's about the day. So either you can write at a stretch how you want your day to be, and when you write it, it has to be as if the day has already been passed. So it has to be that kind of words, all positive things. So either you can write about the whole day at a stretch, or it could be in segments. So like maybe morning, and then in the afternoon, and then in the evening. I started with the whole day. Then sometimes morning I don't get time, and I write it in the afternoon, how my rest of the day would
Mm.
be. So it has surprised me to the extent that this was just an experiment wherein I was just thinking, okay, this client is coming today, and I'm very happy the client has lost 1 kg of weight. And actually, when I went to the clinic, like, oh, yes, it is exactly 1 kg. So, I mean, that was just an experiment. But apart from that, also, when I will revisit my diary and I see, oh, wow, yes, I intended my day to be that way, and it's
Mm.
been that way.
Mm. That's very powerful, really powerful. Trupti, what is one small thing, small or big, that you have made in your life and that has surprisingly positive impact in your life?
Then I would say it's not very small, but it's very big for me. But I would say that's the one thing what I have followed in last 6 months or maybe a 1 year. I've reduced my sugar use.
Mm.
I'm not adding more sugar or sweets to my
Mm.
daily routine diet. That is the first big thing. I love all the sweets, but this is what I've tried to train my mind, and understanding my sugar intake is the most important what I have learned. The most important is that I'm able to understand exactly why and where my craving has reduced, that I
Mm.
have personally experienced in last 1 year. And we all explore different techniques to keep load, yoga also, gym also, and maybe different techniques. But now what last 1 year or maybe last 6 months, I would say that I'm really a gym person and I love to go gym daily. And that really makes me a complete change in my body posture.
Mm.
And maybe throughout the day, my level of energy is increased. My awareness also increased because my focus is changed towards my type of body and energy level of my body. And I'm so grateful that all my reports are normal. Thanks to all my supporter, my husband. Shilpa ji is always there in back of my support. So that
Mm.
is what is a small thing I would like to share. But yes, it's all said once you decide,
That's
uh, things start working for
yes,
you.
that's true. That's
It is
really amazing. It is, this is fantastic thought that we don't trust ourselves and we don't take that decision. It's a momentary. In one moment you can decide and change everything. That's powerful.
because
Shilpa.
as I would say, ki, being a diabetes educator, when I am exactly teaching and explaining, this really helped me that what
Mm,
exactly the fight is about to
yeah.
control that sugar craving. I'll be
Mm,
exactly able to explain the person कि हाँ exactly ऐसा होता है, कुछ time ऐसा होगा ही. But now
mm,
you
mm,
have to observe and how you can fight with it. Thank you
mm.
so much. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. Shilpa, I cannot leave this discussion, without you giving your thoughts on sugar. I think, sugar becomes sometimes a quick energy thing, and, it has its downside also. So I would like to you to share your thoughts about sugar and how much harmful it really is.
So I would only explain it very shortly. Do not overdo something. So sugar is also not bad if you taken it in the limited amounts. So the recommended dosage is just 2 or 3 teaspoons throughout the day. So if you're eating sugar or having sugar, maybe in your tea, coffee, just 1 teaspoon, that's not going to harm you. It becomes harmful only when you eat lot of sweet per se, be it any bakery items or be it any Indian mithais, and that too is happening very frequently. So even if it's a festival time, you've eaten maybe 1 or 2 sweets during the day, it's definitely not going to harm you. But if
Hmm.
घर में मिठाई का box है and आते जाते you are just eating, that is something which is going to harm you. So sugar, uh, the effects are really very bad. If we are talking about educators, what happens it's very easy. It is now termed as one of the addictives, like how we talk about alcohol and nicotine. So it's now being categorized as an addiction. What happens is when a person eats sugar, especially when we were talking about mindfulness, the person gets a kick, and that's how the person keeps resorting to eating sugars. And especially when we are talking about educators, when they are very busy, very focused, and a lot of things to do, because they are also concerned about kids' marks and so many other things. So then it is very easy to eat something which will energize your body also and your mind also. So, of course, diabetes tops the list. It is not just by eating only sugar, but yes, eating too much of sugary foods over a period of time. The other thing that studies have shown is it badly disturbs your gut microbiome. All the colonies of good bacteria are washed away because sugar actually creates a total imbalance in your gut. And I mean, the good bacteria really need a lot of support to fight them back, which doesn't happen. And over a period of time, they are washed away and are replaced by bad bacteria. And that's how, as Srikanji mentioned, yes, central obesity and most of your problems in life, be it your mind problem, physical problems, start with the gut. So, I mean, that is really very bad. So that's how sugar can create a havoc basically in the
It can
body.
create a havoc, yes. And yeah, that's something that if we study more about this, we realize this. But it becomes a quick solution to many problems when you are not eating, when you don't have time to cook. It becomes a easy energy bar, as we say, energy bar. Yes. So we have a question from one of our Edunier member, Arvind, and this is question for you, Shrikanji. They teachers have to stand for long hours, and it probably will have long-term impact on their feet. So some suggestion that you can share about how to manage this.
Yeah, good question. And I will suggest, see, when you talk of the feet, I mean, like we all know, teachers, educators, we are all, we have to stand and teach in the class. Okay. So, like now we are sitting and, it is not like because you have 60, 70 students, 100 students, and you are taking class. So, what I suggest is our system is like this. These two fingers in the middle, right? The first two fingers, these are our hands. The first finger and the little finger represents our hand. I'm talking of the reflex points in our body. So these two, the middle finger and the ring finger, okay, these are our feet. Okay, these fingers have representations in our feet. Look at the design of the system also. If you look at these things, we have 1, 2, and 3 joints. So that the first joint is related with the hip region. The second is the knee region, and the third is with the ankle region. So what I'll suggest is, if you have a tool, it is good. Otherwise, at least massage these two fingers, okay, and this will give you some relief from the feet, okay, from the overuse of the feet in terms of pain, in terms of discomfort and all these things. The ideal way is this is a tool which is a ring, and we use we move the ring in the fingers. That means we are massaging the feet points, right? And all the 3 areas, that is the hip area, the knee region, and the ankle region. This can be done about 5 to 7 times in both the fingers and on both the hands can do. So what will happen is the circulation in the feet will improve. The discomfort because of long hours of standing will reduce. This will certainly help them.
That's it.
This is pretty useful. We have another question, and I think all of you can answer. This question is from Rachna. She is asking how to manage stress and anxiety. I think this is pretty good questions, and this needs to be managed on daily basis. It is not one-time thing. So maybe all of you can share some thoughts about it. We'll start with Tripti because this is, also about how do we create balance in our life. So we'll start
Right.
with you, how to manage stress and anxiety in our day-to-day life.
Sure. Then I would just say that stress means it's not about your present. It's about either your past or either your future. So there are three things involved. A first thing is your thoughts. Second things is your emotions. And third things is your feeling. All these three things are involved with you when you are thinking on that particular subject. One thought come basically that generate a particular emotions in your body, particular feelings in your body, and immediately you drag. This is the process, and that dragging will say that I am feeling stressful. So during this three process, your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotion, these are three things aligned. And when you drag into that, you'll not be able to sustain or handle your own self, because your emotions start coming and telling you, I am feeling stressful, or I am feeling anxious, or maybe what will happen or what to do. There are different things come. Now, if we understand this thing, between this process is the only one thing which can help you to stay there and stay focused and stay calm, is your breathing. The breathing will always help you when you are feeling very anxious. Check your posture and check your breathing. Because when this stress comes, immediately your breathing pattern will change. Immediately you will start feeling restless about the topic, about the subject, or about the thought which has come to give you that burden. So I would advise that just be aware. I would say that abdominal breathing, which is being given in the yoga, is you will immediately connect your breathe. And if you just breathing, your focus will completely go on the breathe, and you will be able to feel calm down in a few seconds. Then that few seconds bring you to the present moment. Once you are in the present moment, you'll be able to harmonize your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your action. And then either maybe you sit down, or maybe you lie down, or maybe wherever you feel, you immediately close your eyes and just breathe, just be with yourself. And I'm sure the mind will give you the correct direction that what is going to be your next action, because that is the only time that we need to take a correct action in the stress. And by harmonizing your thoughts, feelings, emotion, you will get the correct direction.
Very valid points. How do we manage three of them together? Shrikanji, I will take this to you. How to manage stress and anxiety in day-to-day life? If you can share some tips from yoga or any practices that you suggest.
Good. Right. So, so you say thumbs up. So opposite of stress is health or wellness. So so this point, the thumb is representing our, and we always say that the stress is in the mind or in the head region. For sake of simplicity, we say, okay, दिमाग में भरा हुआ है stress. It goes into our head because of maybe situation, because of the external aspects of all these things. There are, like I said, the pituitary or the hormonal glands. Okay. This point, the top of the head, the frontal brain, These 2 points are all around the thumb, So behind the nail is this point. Okay? And we can press this point for about 3 to 5 seconds. If we have a tool, it's good. If you don't have a tool, then also just pressing this point will help reduce stress. Because this point is connected with the head region. So here, the top of the head is the processor, and the frontal brain is the executor. So both these areas, this area and this area, if we are able to energize, see what happens, how does this system work? Stress is creating a lot of, traffic in the system. A lot of anxiety goes into that. So we are like Tripti just mentioned about deep breathing. What does deep breathing do? Deep breathing is actually moving the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is a spiritual muscle connected with the parasympathetic system, which will reduce the stress. So in the same manner, there are many ways to do it. And one way is, press the area just on the top of the thumb, around the thumb, okay, with your fingers or with any tool that you are having, and you see the difference. And when you do this for a few times, okay, the connection between the thumb and the head region, right? We all know that learning takes place when you do something repeatedly. So that's why we say that when you give me 7 days, or you give me 14 days, or you take a 30 days challenge or a 21 days challenge. That means what? You are conditioning the practice. You are institutionalized, or you are making the brain or the mind, or making yourself familiar with the practice that you are going to do. Yeah. So this connection is already there in the system. Only you have to activate it. So press and release, and that will reduce stress for sure.
Yeah. Fantastic. Shilpa, your thoughts on stress and anxiety, and one extended question from myself: can food also help managing stress and anxiety? Are there any kinds of food which aggravate, the stress symptoms in our body?
Yes, so you must have heard this saying, "Jaisa an vaisa man."
Yes, absolutely.
So yes, a very strong connection, and I always tell my clients, it is so we stress है मैम diet ऐसा दे दो, it will not work that way. You have to work on it. You have to have a balanced diet. If a person is eating out 3 times a week, uh, very difficult for me to help that person manage stress, because yes, the food is, the food is what is going to give you energy, and it plays a lot with your mind also. So for educators, what I want to say is just ensure that you are having good quality proteins in your diet. Even if you're eating 3 meals a day, ensure that all the 3 meals have good quality protein, because proteins are the ones which are responsible for generating those neurotransmitters, uh, or that feel good. That is, they are the ones which give you that dopamine kick, because all this are made from protein. So maybe a few sources of proteins would be nuts. Always keep few nuts in your purse, in your pocket, just 10 or 12 a day, which could be spaced out, so that will reduce your gaps between meals. You can also have seeds. You nowadays get seeds in small packets, so maybe 7 seeds mix, which is readily available. You can have some sprouts, some boiled. You can have boiled eggs. You can have paneer. You can have our Indian pulses, dals, legumes, milk and milk products, and yes, chicken, fish if you eat non-vegetarian food. So try and include proteins in each and every meal. Apart from that, yes, good fat, because our brain is 60% it is made up of fats. So if you include good fat, something which is known as omega 3, and there have been a lot of studies which show that Yes, omega-3 is something which definitely plays or helps you with feeling good and reduces your stress. So it's very easy to get if you are eating a fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna, or if you are a vegetarian, then you can have few nuts again, almonds, walnuts, and flax seeds. So just making this few changes, and yes, very important is hydrate. Drink good amount of fluid throughout the day, because
Mhm.
that is the medium which will transport the nutrients, and yes, it will help you feeling good, reduce your stress. So that's from my end.
It's good that you mention about water intake, uh, uh, because water intake is very important, and especially when you are speaking, you are continuously active. Consuming water throughout the day will surely help. So this has been really insightful conversation with all of you, and shortly we'll end our day today. But before we end, I want to ask you, what's one actionable step that you can suggest that that will lead to healthier and more balanced life, say starting from tomorrow? So maybe some 5 7 minute tip that you can give, which anyone can follow starting from tomorrow. So I will start with you, Shrikanji. Some 5 10 minutes tips that will go handy with everyone.
Okay. I think sometime back we have been always discussing about for the educators what is voice care. Mhm.
Yes.
And yeah, so one tip I can share with the educators is uh, this point when we were mentioning about this. So this point is our throat. You know, the first part is the head region. The second part is of the thumb is representing our throat, and this part is representing our lungs. So what we can do is we have this ginger. Right? So what you do is just rub this ginger on the throat and on the lungs.
Mm-hmm.
I have been following this practice now. What it will do? The ginger has property of ginger is warm in nature. We always have adrak ki chai and stuff like that. So what does it do? Ginger that will give the warmth to the throat and the lungs also. Right? Most of the time, see, because the voice, the energy to the voice is coming from the lungs. If lungs are weak or lungs are not good enough, okay, then the voice that power in the voice will not be there. So the throat region and the lungs, if you could take a piece of ginger and just rub it on the thumb, the lower portion of the thumb, and on the lungs, that is the mount of the thumb. Okay, that will create a good massage for the throat, and you can do it on both the hands. Adrak ka tukda lijiye, and the juice of the ginger should uh, make that thing happen. Right? Not the raw ginger. Right? You cut the ginger and use that portion.
So
And
every
you will
time one
feel,
should cut the ginger.
yes, you should cut, apply the juice. The juice is important. Ginger is okay. We want the ginger juice to reach, to massage and activate the throat, right? Give energy and, heat to the throat region. And also energize the lungs. I think that is a good practice to start with.
Yeah, this can be practiced every day for sure. Trupti, some quick 5 minute, 5 to 10 minute suggestion that you can give to all of us, which we can start immediately, like from tomorrow. Nothing for future to be start soon.
Okay. So I would say all dear educators are creators. Those who are their experience for the betterment of other individual. It may be a adult or a child. I would say being a creator, two most important key is first is learning and second are books. So I would say define three things. When your role is about motivating, empowering, educating, the most important is the key. Whatever you are giving out, multiples and come back to you. So only one major rule of your life, because this is where you are creating for you, creating for the society, creating for the nation, and creating for the planet. Because how children from the age of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, teachers' role is involved. From the teaching of early aging to the toddler, preschool, or maybe a teenagers, college, or maybe a training a coach or training educators or a teacher training course. I would say that what is around you and what you really want to see around you, the people, is only your role to give you a best. Best from what you are learning. And the best what from where you are getting, just what you are getting, just try to simplify, try to convert, because now in the era of AI, in the era of chat GPT, and there are era of digital world, we all are access to the most powerful tool of teaching and reaching people. And I would say that is going to be the best skill for all the educators to give their best when they decide just start giving from today, tomorrow, or just now. Thank you.
Thank you. Shilpa, considering that all of things that we have discussed today, what is one actionable step, maybe of 5-10 minutes a day, that that you can suggest to all of us?
Yes. So, especially for the educators, I want to request them to prioritize themselves, because it's always the kids, the exams, and so many other things, but leaving themselves. So, one is giving themselves priority, and other is, as I've been repeatedly telling, that do not keep long gaps. So, yes, they can carry few nuts, which is very easy for them. This needs to be done on immediate basis, and that I myself do. You will always find a small dibba of dry fruits, maybe just 8 to 10 piece, and believe me, if you start that practice from tomorrow itself, just even if you're not hungry, but after 2 or 3 hours, just before entering a class, popping in maybe 2 almonds, you will find how soothing it is and how it energizes yourself. And the other thing which you can start from tomorrow without going too much into nutrition or any other thing is, I just tell my clients three things. Whatever meals you are preparing or eating, ask yourself these three things. Protein mein kya hai? Is your meal protein rich? Just reflect, because you all know what are the sources. Carbohydrates mein kya hai? Only thing is, it should not be maida based. It can be rice, roti or millet. And vegetables or fiber या vitamins में क्या है, that's it. So all your meals should have these three things which are very important, and you are sorted. So right from your breakfast to dinner, just see to it that your meals have all these things, and rest assured that yes, you are having a balanced meal. And the stress, anxiety, the other health elements that keep coming on and off, and with the kind of work that you are doing, I would put it in a way that it's both mental and physical. There are other professionals who are sitting and working, maybe more of mental this thing, but educators are standing, or as we discussed, they are standing most of the time, and they are also working with their mind too. So they really need to fuel themselves well to avoid all the health related, the mind related issues. So that's the only thing I would want to say.
That's very insightful. I just want to highlight one more thing, prioritize. And I always say, we always miss on this part. It takes hardly 2-3 minutes of day to know what is priority of a day. And if we know that, the day goes smooth. So absolutely important point. How do we prioritize ourselves? How do we prioritize our food habits? How do we prioritize a mind habit? How do we know how to keep balance in our life? And this can be sorted out if in our mind we can prioritize what is important for the day, for life. Thank you so much, every one of you, for sharing your insight and being so generous with your knowledge and your life experience. Anything that you would like to share before we end this session? Trupti, anything that as a final thought you would like to share with us?
Sure, it's just gratitude to all the teachers for their contribution, connecting to Edunier, connecting to Jen, and connecting to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Wishing
much.
health and happiness.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. Shilpa, any final thought from your side?
Yes, so yes, again a big thank you, because I think teachers are the ones who make us. I mean, even we are here today, thankfully, because of their teachings. So it's very important for them to take care of themselves, because if they are healthy both physically and mentally, I mean, the kids will have a role model. They as such have, but I think so. Yes, just thank you. That is it.
Thank you. Shrikantji, any final thought that you would like to share with us?
We have to thank you, Jane, for organizing all these things.
Thank you so
And
much
we
for
have to
coming.
thank you, panelists also. It was good learning from both Shilpa ji and Trupti, right? We learned a lot from them. So, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. So,
Wow,
this
so
poetic said
beautiful.
that our body is a vehicle to our progress, and we must. It is our duty. It is
Mm,
emphasized
yes.
that without a good body, without a good vehicle, right, we can't go any further. Right?
Mm,
So for all these things, we must pay good attention to our health and well-being.
mm.
And I say that out of 24 hours a day, spend 24 minutes for yourself.
That's so beautiful. Yeah.
Uh, and all the other things, of course, the world is there to conquer, but first take care of yourself so that you can reach out to the world.
Thank you. It ends for me on a note that we need to know that we are important. You are important. And if you are important, you must take care of yourself. Because when you take care of yourself, you'll be able to take care of others. So give priority to yourself, give priority to your health, your mind, and overall well-being. So this is a really insightful session from all of you. I want to thank you, Tripti, for your insights on how we can balance our life. Shilpa, you have been just amazing with food tips that you share with us. And Shrikantji, your knowledge is life changing. I think we all can take value from these sessions, and I hope you all start implementing the small things that we can start in our daily life, maybe from today, from tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to join Edunier community, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. I will share link in the comment, and stay connected and continue your journey towards well-being. Let us now turn our attention to our esteemed speakers, thanking them and giving us a opportunity to learn with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Okay, I have stopped live streaming. Sadly, एक मिनट पहले मैं recording बंद कर देती हूँ. वो कहाँ से करना है?